After a couple of days in the Tucson, Arizona area, today the road will take us a few miles to the northwest to Picacho Peak State Park. There will be a beautiful and perilous hike, totally worth the effort, and at the end of the day, the reward will be this beautiful sunset. All that and more coming up next. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV. Alright, this was very nice. Cactus Country RV Resort here. Their Wi-Fi actually works pretty good, which is it's always a plus, and they're very nice, very pleasant.
Right onto Saguaro.
Only thing, you have to show up early. They close the office like at 4 p.m. Another plus about this campground, it is right next to I-10, but not too close. Not close enough so that you will hear road noise or anything like that, so that's good. The trip to Picacho takes about an hour, so it could easily be a day trip from Tucson. In fact, we can already see it in the distance. Are those parachutes? This is so exciting! The plan is to climb all the way to the top tomorrow morning. We are really early, but you never know. If the site is available, sometimes they'll let you check in early. We are in luck. My site is available. Ooh, it looks like the camp host is raking my site right now. Perfect timing. Hello, Pelican Heads. This is one of those places that I've been meaning to visit for a long time. Hold on, it's coming. That's Picacho Peak. No, your ears don't deceive you. I had to turn on the AC. Even though it's not like super hot, but it was getting uncomfortably hot in there, especially when it was sunny. For some reason, I did a Pelican Head update about 2 hours ago, and it was, we still have some blue skies back there, but we have very gray skies here, looking towards Picacho Peak. I think I'm gonna go for a walk, and then we're gonna make some dinner here. As I said, I'm just gonna walk around the park a little bit here, just get the lay of the land, and tomorrow morning when it's cooler, we're gonna go all the way to the top of Picacho Peak. Yeah, this is an awesome site here in Picacho Peak State Park. It is an impressive mountain, almost Angel's Landing-esque. That's gotta be Mount Lemon over there, and look at all these cacti. What a special place. We've got this trail that goes along the park road, and supposedly it goes all the way to the visitor center and the entrance, and a short trail that I might want to take today. The long trail to the top of the mountain, that's tomorrow. Although I shouldn't do tomorrow what I could do today, right? Just in case. Well, tomorrow the weather is supposed to be better. Not that today is bad, but you know what I mean. This reminds me of my 2018 road trip, coming out here. My first cross-country road trip. I had seen yucca cacti back in Texas, and then the Choya, where we stayed last night. And all of a sudden, I remember right after Tucson, I remember coming here, and I look to the left. I'm going west on I-10, and I see all these little things sticking out of the mountain. And all of a sudden, I realize there were saguaro cacti, and it almost I almost got emotional, to realize that I had arrived to this part of the country, and where I had never actually been. I had never been to this part of the country before then. So yeah, this place brings fun memories. I remember looking on the driver's side window, seeing Picacho Peak and all these cacti. I didn't know they had gators here. Oh no, it's not a gator. It's a dead saguaro. Very interesting, and at the same time, kind of oddly sad, sobering, to see the innards of a dead saguaro, also called ribs, its skeleton, if you will. Another dead saguaro. These plants can last up to 200 years, so that must have been a very old one. Back to the campground we go. Should be about 2 miles. Maybe I should try and hitch a ride back. That is something you don't see as much back east. All these like miles long trains. I mean, that train goes almost all the way back to Tucson, I think. Yeah, lots of commerce, lots of cargo going east-west along these railroad tracks. One going, one coming. It is constant, one after the other. I love this part of the park right here because we have all kinds of different, species, varieties of cactus. And it feels like a cactus garden, almost. We even had some choya back there. All we're missing is like, is that considered a cactus? The yucca. Interesting. With the arms all tangled up. Site C1. Very nice. I'm pretty famished, so let's get something to eat. It is time for another RV cooking show. Yeah, it is still pretty frozen. I'm gonna have to defrost it somehow. I'm gonna start with some bacon and then we'll make the burgers. And I don't have hamburger buns, but I have some brioche bread there. That's what I'm gonna use. Well, we'll cook those for tomorrow. And right now, let's eat the ones we have there. I was gonna do some onions too, but I didn't feel like complicating myself with that, so I'm just gonna add the bacon, maybe some barbecue sauce, and we'll eat. I'm gonna do some of that barbecue sauce from San Antonio. Mmm. It's gonna be a beautiful morning. Alright, let's go for a little hike. Well, not so little. I want to hike all the way to the top of Picacho Peak. And something tells me I should drive to the trailhead, but I'm just gonna walk because I want to do like a loop, you know, go all the way up there and then come back on a different route. So we're just gonna walk to the trailhead. It should be, I don't know, about a mile. And today, I got my proper hiking shoes, so just in case, just to be ready for any type of terrain here. By the way, beautiful campground, and I'm technically walking on a site, but this site is vacant. What a beautiful place this is. I thought it was gonna be good, but not this good. Alright, came here to the day use area for a bathroom break, and check it out, Sunset Vista Trailhead. I have a feeling this is going to be a pretty strenuous hike, but I'm mentally prepared and I've got plenty of water and 2 energy bars for lunch somewhere up there. Okay, here we have like a 3D representation of the trail. This is it, and then here is the junction with Hunter Trail. Up to the junction is 2.6 miles and 895 in elevation. And then I hear there are cables that, like Angel's Landing style, so we shall see. Proper hiking boots, ample water, gloves for the cableways. I forgot to bring gloves. Looks like we have brand new stairs here. Well, so far, very nice. It's been up and up and up. Very nice. It's like everywhere you look. Let me zoom in on those mountains back there so you can see them. It's everywhere you look is beautiful. They look like 2 cacti hugging over there. Yeah. That does look like Picacho Peak, doesn't it? We have to go all the way up there. Is that a cave down there? Here's the view. Here's the view looking back. It's the 1 mile mark. 1 mile, and this is 2.6 miles to the junction, so we're not even halfway there yet. Wow, look at that view. What a beautiful place this is. I keep saying it, but it is this combination of mountains and desert what makes Arizona such a magical place. That is beautiful. I love the contrast of the cholla, which is bright, with the saguaro and the other cacti that I don't remember the names right now. But we're now fully on the back side of the mountain, for sure. By the way, the trail not as solitary as it may look sometimes. There are several of us hiking it. We're just keeping our distance. We're starting to gain elevation here. The views are getting better and better. We can even see the Pinal airplane boneyard from here. It's been up and up and up, relentlessly. We continue going up on these switchbacks. Just took a water break because, you know, gotta hydrate here in the desert. It's pretty strenuous, I won't lie to you. A little sketchy here. This part of the trail. Man, it's a long way down. Here we are, got to the first cables. And I forgot to bring gloves. Cables and steep stairs. And the precipice on the other side. Now for the fun part. I'm afraid I'm not gonna be able to show you this one real time. This is amazing. This is an amazing place. Look at that. Totally worth the effort. Apparently this is the hardest part coming up here. I'm gonna have to put away the camera because I forgot to bring my head mount, but I'll let you know how it goes. It's gonna be interesting on the way down, that's for sure. Look at that! We've almost gone all the way around the mountain. Now looking east towards I-10. I guess that's what they call the fun part. Yeah, don't tell anybody, but a little more strenuous than I was expecting. It looks like this is the final cable stretch all the way to the top. Oh, wow, look at the campground all the way down there. Guess it is through here. Doesn't even look like a trail, but it's gotta be. We've made it to the summit of Picacho Peak. Oh man, that was strenuous. Oh, they do have a mailbox up here, so you can like leave a note, say that you were here. That's pretty cool. Sign the notebook. That's the RV park down there. I like our campground much better. Although they probably have full hookups down there. Alright, made it all the way to the top. Now we have nowhere to go but down. So let's take it slow. We'll make it. Alright. Wish me luck. I could not find the marker, that usually, the geodesic marker that, marks the elevation and this and that, and the survey marker, basically. But maybe it's under the mailbox. That was pretty intense, and that's not even the worst of them. So, yeah, still have this part to go, and then down there, and then there's another one. But once in a while, you have to stop and enjoy the views. Let me drink some water before we do this one. This is the crossroads. Maybe I'll go down through the Hunter Trail, which is much shorter. Much shorter, but more strenuous. I've learned it's not always easier on the way down, especially when you're already exhausted from the climb up. You know what I just realized? Tragedy. I don't have any cold IPAs. They're all warm. So I'll put one in the freezer as soon as I get back, because I think today I earned it. I guess that's the saddle up there. So yeah, we got more cables. I think we've made it to the famous saddle, and this should be mostly downhill from here on. One can only hope, right? Alright, let's do it. There's the RV park down there. My only concern is that I'm down to my last bottle of water. We should make it okay. Look at the size of that train. You have no idea how tired I am. But we're almost there. We're almost there. It's rated difficult, not recommended for inexperienced hikers. Should have said something before, right? Oh, I forgot. We still have to walk all the way back to the campground. Oh, this last mile. Going to the campground. Do I hear the sound of air conditioners? Yeah, it is like 78 degrees. Such a beautiful sight. Yeah, home sweet home. And it is getting warm. And I am getting hungry. And I can't believe we went all the way up there. Okay, this seems like a good choice. A couple of weeks ago I bought this at Bucky's, so let's put some rub on it and cook it. Too much, you think? Cheers. Yeah, I'm just gonna sit here looking after the grill, enjoying the view. My two saguaro cacti. Who should I watch? It is the most spectacular desert sunset I've seen this year. Most appropriate, since this is our last night, for now, here in the land of the saguaro cactus. We're going north towards the White Mountains, but on the way there, we're gonna stop by Casa Grande Ruins National Monument, Miami, Arizona, the Salt River Canyon, and eventually, Sholo. But more about that on the next episode. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and see you on the road. Riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, and 'cause I'm free in my RV.